In this video, we are going to look at two types of correlations that you can use when your data is not normally distributed. This includes Spearman correlation and Kendall's ktau correlation. As I've just said, you can use Spearman's rank correlation coefficients if you are assessing a relationship between two numerical variables that are either both of them are not normally distributed or one of them is not normally distributed. We have a data set for this demonstration which you can download from a link in the description of this video. In this data set, we have 40 participants with data about their age, hours in the hospital, the pain score, and the mobility scores. We want to establish the relationship between age and hours someone has spent in the hospital. But one of our variables, age, is not normally distributed. In that case, we shall have to use Spearman's rank correlation if we want to assess this relationship between age and hours in hospital. To run a Spearman's rank correlation, simply go to Statistics, go to Nonparametric Analysis, and go to Test of Hypothesis, then choose Spearman's rank correlation. In this dialog box, specify the two variables that you want to analyze. We have our age, which is not normally distributed, against hours, which is also a numeric variable. Once we've set that, check this box for display correlation coefficient, and we also want to see the p-values, that is the display significance level. Once everything is set, click OK, and here is our output. We can see that we are analyzing 40 observations. We can see that the Spearman's rank correlation rho is negative 0.0230, indicating a negative relationship between age and length of hospital stay. When we go down here, we have our p-value, which is testing the null hypothesis that age and hours in hospital are independent. In other words, there is no relationship between these two variables. And the p-value here is 0.888, which is above 0.05, indicating that we fail to reject this null hypothesis. That is one way we can apply the Spearman's correlation when either one or both of the variables that we want to assess the relationship are not normally distributed. However, you can also use the Spearman's correlation when you are assessing a relationship between two ordinal variables. For example, we have a variable for pain score, which was measured on a scale of 1 to 5, and also mobility score, which is also an ordinal variable measured on a scale, a Likert scale of 1 to 5. So these two variables are ordinal, so we can use Spearman's correlation to assess the relationship between these two. Next, we are going to look at the Kendall's ktau correlation, which is actually similar to the Spearman's correlation, but can be used for smaller sample sizes. This Kendall's ktau correlation can be used to assess the relationship between two ordinal variables, just like we've seen for Spearman's correlation, but it can also be used to assess a relationship between an ordinal variable like pain score or mobility score with a numerical variable such as hours or age. The difference here is if we are going to use Kendall's ktau to assess a relationship between ordinal variables, the variables should have less than 5 groups. We are going to use the Kendall's ktau correlation to establish a relationship between these two ordinal variables, that's pain score and mobility score, in Stata. To run the Kendall's ktau correlation, simply go to Statistics, Nonparametric Analysis, Test of Hypothesis, and then select Kendall's rank correlation. In this dialog box, you specify the variables that you want to analyze. In this case, we have our two ordinal variables, that's pain score and mobility score. We want to display the tau B, we want to display the significance levels, and then we click OK. From this output, we can see the total number of observations. We have the values for Kendall's tau A and B. You can see both values are close to each other. The values are positive, indicating a positive relationship between pain score and mobility score. However, this is not statistically significant, as you can see the p-value for the test of the null hypothesis, which states that pain score and mobility score are independent. In other words, there is no relationship between these two variables. And since the p-value is above 0.05, the usual alpha value, then we fail to reject this null. So that's how we can run the Spearman and the Kendall's tau B correlations when our variables are not normally distributed, or when we have ordinal variables. We could also get these tests through statistics, summaries, tables, and tests. Then we go to a non-parametric test of hypothesis. Then we would have these two values, these two tests down here. If you found these videos helpful, consider commenting, liking, and subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss out any of our episodes. Next, we look at the partial correlation in Stata, a test you can use to assess a relationship between two variables while controlling for a third numeric or categorical variable. See you in the next episode.